This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
PTB Wrestling Network family, welcome to your home for everything current and classic in wrestling. It is Place to Be Nation's main event. I'm Scott Criscolo. Hi. Welcome to May. We are in May. WrestleMania is in the rearview mirror, and we have another pay-per-view next week. Churning and burning here in the world of pugilism, fake and real. But of course, we've got another big show coming up at the end of May, right in my backyard. But let's talk about that and plenty other fine subjects with these two subjects. He is the conscience of Place to Be Nation. Good evening, Steve Aloysius Willie.
Pugilism. I have really nothing exciting to say or lead off with. I can't think of anything.
I got nothing.
Got nothing.
So you're about as useful as the Hawks basketball talent right now.
And I have almost as many points.
Yes, you do. And of course, speaking of hoops, our hoops guru over on the other side there. Hello, Andrew Reich.
Hey, where you have WrestleMania in the rear view. We are now on the road to Saudi Arabia. Are you excited?
No, we're not.
Do you think the road?
I'm talking about WrestleMania next year.
Oh, WrestleMania next year. Oh, yeah. It's a dirt road. It's like Ishtar.
Who's coming with me?
It's going to be about as good as the movie Ishtar.
Can you drive to Saudi Arabia? Do you have to get on a boat at some point?
Well, since the Public Investment Fund will not be paying for Live Golf anymore, Live Morgan Golf, maybe they'll buy a bridge. Or maybe they'll make a bridge.
Yeah. That is just such a classic capitalist example. Be careful what you wish for. It just...
Yeah, I wonder.
Can I ask an honest question? Why does everybody say that? I'm going to make you open the can of worms, Boogie.
Okay.
When somebody buys something, you buy something. I'm going to get into this because you opened your fucking mouth, and we're not even 2 minutes into the fucking show.
That's fine. I got an answer for everything, even if it's not a good one.
How come when you buy something, it's capitalism, but when you give it away, it's socialism?
Okay. Maybe I use a poor.
The world can't be free. Nothing's free.
All right, so I'm not going to get into that whole part about.
Not even apples and oranges in New York City. They're not free either.
My point of view is that Live Golf being funded by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and then they pull the money out because they don't care about what American golfers want to do if they pull their money out. That's the part to me that's not shocking. And I got a feeling at some point in the future that's going to happen, probably with World Wrestling Entertainment. There's going to be a point where the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is going to be like, we just want to put our money into soccer and things that are culture likes. And
Live Golf was a dumb idea to begin with.
Yeah.
They also lost $1 billion last year. I mean, the Saudis are entitled to some kind of return on their investment. They're not a charity, as much as people like to think they are. They're not a charity.
You could see the cracks in the foundation already a year ago because they made a deal with the PGA so that they could have their golfers be able to compete in the majors. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the golfers that are stars in Live, who were, champions in the PGA before that, they've struggled in the PGA when they go back to play in the majors. You know why? Live Golf sucks. You got to play against the best.
True, but I always feel like golf. I always feel like, what are the rules of Live Golf? What's the difference? There's different rules.
Yeah, I can't remember. Everyone makes the cut. There are no cuts.
So it's late.
I'm not a golfer.
So it's a giant participation trophy. Oh, that's great.
Yes, very much so.
Amazing.
My question actually about that is because I'm not familiar with the contracts. Of course, none of us are really.
No,
but with them pulling the money out of Live Golf, which whether you like the Saudis or not, regardless, Live Golf sucks. like Andrew said, like it is tanking so hard. It
tanked last year.
Yeah, it's not good golf. They might not even finish this year.
I thought they had enough to get through this year, but they may not.
It was actually
they
actually were going to have an event in New Orleans and they canceled it.
They just canceled it for next.
That's when the news started coming out about it, right?
But what would stop them? What would stop them necessarily? I'm not saying that this would happen because WWE is doing well financially and probably doing well for the Saudis financially.
Mm-hmm.
But is that a possibility that if they just get tired or they're spending too much money or like someone higher than the prince or whomever that is, I don't know their government, is like, screw this, why are we putting out all this money? Is that a possibility that they could do that to the future too?
That's what I'm saying. I think that's a very real possibility in like the next 10 or 20 years. That's just my opinion.
And I don't know how that works. Like, I mean, it's international contracts. So, but if they could do it to Live Golf, all I'm saying is if they could do it to Live Golf, can they do it to all these other sports that they're
I'll also say American investors who are in bed with a lot of the the KSA deals, a lot of them are probably like, look, if you're just going to pull out on me at the last minute, why am I going to do this deal in the first place? So that might be another thing that scares away domestic people from just outsourcing everything to Saudi Arabia.
Well, we'll get into. First of all, we don't give a fuck.
It's
about
a big
golf. So
it's a big topic.
No,
we just wasted a bandwidth talking about this. Thanks. I can't believe I fired you yet.
I only cared about how it related to WWE. Like, hey, what's to say that they don't do this 6 years, for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years from now?
Yeah, speaking of a promotion that's in bed with Saudi Arabia that pretends to be a sport, let's talk about WWE now.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Your beloved little company, if we're gonna play this fucking game, your little beloved company is owned by a guy who owns soccer teams and other things, and owns a shitty football team.
No,
okay.
He also owns a shitty soccer team,
and he lets his kid have a little play toy that's got 9,000 people on a roster. 7,500 of them are wrestling in Ring of Honor that nobody watches. And you're talking to me about wasting money on capitalist activity when he's got a roster. You really wanted to go here, Boogie? We haven't even gone 5 fucking minutes yet.
Scott, you have to understand. All Elite Wrestling has now joined the Elite. We are now having a Dynamite show at a golf club. We've made it.
That Shad Khan's probably a member of.
It's I think it's in Florida, in Palm Gardens, and it's called Fairway to Hell. I actually think it's not the worst idea in the world.
Of course, but if the other con did it, capitalist golfers, no, whatever. Nah, forget it. Anyway, WrestleMania is in the rearview mirror. I heard a lot of things were very expensive. Food was expensive. It is expensive. We're not. But let's talk about the wrestling. Enough of the. I don't have the mental bandwidth to talk about money that I don't have. So, night one appear. I didn't watch it because fuck ESPN. But from what I've heard from people, on both the people that enjoyed it and people that didn't enjoy it, night one wasn't as shitty as it came off on paper. Up until the last 5 minutes, Cody and Orton was actually a very good match from what I've heard. Till the end. And then night two, top to bottom was very good. The Brock moment was very nice. And even Dave says, even though Dave sleeps in Boogie's den, Dave gave Punk and Roman 5 stars. Possible match of the year candidate. I think the funniest joke of the weekend, I saw a great meme of Bianca Belair's baby bump with a Credit One with a Credit One logo on it. That was funny. I will admit that was pretty funny.
It's interesting because I'm looking at cage match and I have a new Steve Willie cage match theory.
Uh-oh.
My Steve Willie cage match theory.
They're German, not Saudi. Just letting you know, Steve.
Yes. Is that so night one is ranked as 2.83, which is obviously
hideous.
It's beyond hideous, right? But if you look at the matches, and I've noticed this when we do the TNA reviews as well, the individual matches themselves are always better than the
grade of the card.
score,
Yeah.
right. So I did I did a little quick math, and the average match was something like, I did this like half hour ago, so it's not going to be exact, but it was something like 4.65, which would be
for night one.
For night one, 4.65, because you had some shitters.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You had some absolute shit shows, but you also had, and by the way, like, we can make fun of Dave. We like to. I also like Dave a lot, but I don't necessarily like his ratings.
Right.
But the way he rated was way higher than what the fan base did. I mean, he gave Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre 4.25. Gunther and Seth Rollins 4.5, and even the main event 3.5. So I mean, and some of the other ones like the women's matches, but I mean those were like panned universally, like the Usos LA Knight one. So I think that there's something to what you're saying, is that it wasn't good. It wasn't a WrestleMania quality, and I'm more upset about the match times and having a 3.5 hour show with only an hour of wrestling on it. That just doesn't fit for what I like. But it's not as bad as some of these ratings, is what I'm trying to say. And then maybe, unless there's like, I think on Raw, something like a Raw or a Dynamite or a Collision, it could be different. This little quack method of math that I did, because you also have talking segments that are like, if a show is, a 3-hour Raw and there's an hour and a half of talking segments in the ring, well, that's probably going to lower a grade down. But I think maybe just going like on this, which is for the most part, just straight matches. And you also have the Bianca Belair thing, which was wonderful. Like, I saw some people making fun of that. I thought that was great. I thought it was very touching. And I thought it was something that we would have never seen in wrestling before. And for her to be so brave to come out and do that. But yeah, like, I don't think it was bad the first night, but it's not
brave to come out with what? Brave to come out with her baby fun?
Like, to come in front of 50,000 people or whatever it was and be like, yo, I'm pregnant. Like, that'd be scary.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I didn't know that's where you were going, but
just different than a wrestling show would do before. It's not something you.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. But that was I thought that was awesome of her. The fans love her anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
So yeah, no, it's fine. And right now there's no room for her. I'm sure if she's, I mean, let's see. So how far did she look? 6 months?
6 months about, I think.
Yeah, I would say she's probably gonna have the baby by the summertime. Yeah, by July.
Yeah, so we're gonna comfortably say that we may not see Bianca until maybe after Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's
probably.
Yeah, wrestling maybe the Rumble.
So we could see her easily. Yeah, we could easily see her as well. It depends too, Steve. We could easily see her as a possibility for
this is my conspiracy theorist in me says that what happened is
all right, Milton Friedman. I love just calling Boogie 1975.
Listen, G. Gordon Liddy.
Financial politicos.
Like all these with 3 Days of the Condor. Is there any other old ones you want to throw? All right.
Great movie. Great, fantastic movie.
Oh, Rip Robert.
3 Days of the Condor. Robert Redford. Dunaway. Yep. This is great. I love talking 70s on the show.
I really believe
what was your theory?
It's just that Bianca Belair with the finger injury was a front. I think she tried. Now, there's other ways that obviously people can try to get pregnant. I think that Trinity Fatu, Naomi, she talked about this a lot, about how it was hard for her to get pregnant. So they did in vitro and all those things. And I'm sure that it was a struggle maybe for Bianca to try. And that's why she's not like do yet. Like, I thought maybe she had already had the baby and just kept the whole thing quiet. That's what I was thinking, but that's not
Gotcha.
what happened. It was a great reveal with
Right.
Cena as the host there in the ring. The thing about WrestleMania for
Yep.
me, and I'll just keep it brief, is that I can feel the struggle for the bookers and the agents and the wrestlers of trying to do the best job that they can do on the grandest stage and the biggest event. But you also have all these restrictions and guardrails and all of these guidelines of like, we need clicks. You get 5 minutes tops, even though we spent weeks and weeks trying to build this. And it has to be difficult. And also, like, oh, we need a surprise. So we're just gonna, this thing we were doing all month long. We're just gonna throw Paige in there as a surprise because we need something. And I'm not trying to crap on Paige's return. It was a nice return.
But Boogie, there are surprises every year. You can't arbitrarily say that this surprise is a conspiracy. We have surprises every fucking year.
No. I don't mean about conspiracies. All I mean is that I can understand for the wrestlers how they feel like TKO running things feels like a struggle to try to create something entertaining. I will give the credit to WWE and Paul Levesque, and especially to Phil Brooks and Roman Reigns, because they delivered what I felt like not necessarily a show-saving main event, but a great, memorable WrestleMania main event. Like, when I think of WrestleMania in 2026, the first thing I'm going to think of is, oh yeah, Punk and Roman had a fantastic main event match. And if you finish strong, if you have a great main event, I'm not trying to poo-poo on the rest of the matches they had, but a lot of that goes to the wayside. If your main event is great, that's what people are going to remember. And they delivered. And I'm glad that they were able to have that great match together. Roman winning was fine. I think we all predicted Roman would probably win it. I thought the ladder match was really fun. Brock letting Oba go over was a good choice, and I actually am in the minority of this versus most fans. I thought Cody versus Randy Orton was a really good match, and I thought them juicing really gave it some drama. So I even though Cody's I think was hard way, I think he accidentally got cut open by one of Randy's fists.
Yeah, and one of the punches it looked like towards the
end. Randy bladed. Yeah, Randy bladed, but But Cody, I think, got hard way cut.
I think he did too.
It was a great match. I enjoyed it. I think they felt restricted by the Pat McAfee stuff. They're like, look, let's flush this down the toilet. Let's get rid of him and Jelly Roll in the first, like before the bell rings, and then let's have a great match. So once the dance partners were able to dance in the ring, they did some great stuff. I wish the women got more time. They just did not get enough time in the ring in any of the nights.
Steve.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Wait, hold on. Did you hear him say, "What a great match by Roman and Phil Brooks"?
Yeah, I did hear that.
What the fuck is he talking about? Why did he say Roman and Phil? What is he part of a cease and desist by the other con? He has to only call him Phil Brooks. Does he call his wife AJ Mendez too? Is that what he's going to do?
What is Danhausen call Punk now? Coleman and Punk.
I never begged for Jordan Duncan more in my life. Danhausen
calls him Coleman Punk now.
Coleman,
because he can't say Pepsi Phil because of the copyright.
Yeah, Coleman.
I think we have to start, and we already have, but I think we have to start looking at it more. WWE versus TKO.
Yep.
What is a WWE issue and what is a TKO issue? Which you were referring to, like the Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll. We now know that was more of a TKO issue.
Totally is.
And then how do you work around that if you're WWE Triple H? Now, we can talk about this in a little bit, but like with some of the roster cuts, that's going to be more of a Triple H thing, who he's choosing to let go with the people around him. So we have to like really look at it closer. All these commercials, all the stuff all over the ring, the 8 minutes in between matches, that's a TKO thing.
Yeah, it's totally a TKO thing. Yes.
And so it's, if we're going to criticize and also if we're going to give praise, we have to make sure we're criticizing and praising the right people.
Yes, that's a good point, Steve. Yes. Because, and listen, match, when we talk about match times and how and match flow, obviously we're looking at we always go two different ways. We're looking at this card, and we're talking about matches that were 7:08, 8:33. Becky and AJ was 8:15. Liv and Stephanie Vaquero was only 6:51. Like those were criminally underdone. Then on the flip side, we talk about AEW and their pay-per-views where the fucking the catering guy and the janitor go 56 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fair criticism. I actually I totally agree with that. That's a problem. That's a problem AEW has and Tony Khan has, especially the pay-per-views.
They haven't been as bad. I will admit, Boogie. I will say this, Boogie. I feel like they haven't been as bad with that lately. In the middle of the vid, that was the worst. That was when it was at its worst, like 2021 to 2023.
We're going to get there eventually when we're doing the archives, but they were really digging as far as they could for content, and it was hard.
Yeah, because those 3 years, like every match was fucking 27 minutes. And I know Tony Khan likes to channel his inner ECW and his inner New Japan, but if you're just going to have 27 minutes of shit, that's not a good 27 minutes just because, hey, New Japan is 20. Same thing here. Trick and Sammy going 7:07. That's it.
Right. And that's feud
crazy.
That's a feud that's been going on for a long time too.
Yeah.
Same with
I would have expected that match to be at least another 10 minutes.
If you're gonna build it for that long, have a blow off. Make it. And it's not like they didn't have enough time on the stream or something like that. They had unlimited.
No, they had to fit. They had to fit the fucking all the ads and commercials.
I thought Finn Balor and Dirty Dom did a decent job with the street fight. It got 10 minutes.
Yeah,
they could have gotten
less than a lot of Raw matches.
Yeah,
and that was another one. I mean, that was a match that has been building for months upon months upon months.
Yeah.
Just go into the ratings again really quick. For night 2, there were, I mean, if you're just looking at night 2 as its own standing WrestleMania, we're going to be talking about an all-time great show. Let's see, like these are Dave's ratings. So again, we always say, gosh, his ratings are low on WWE. Lesnar Femi 4 stars. The ladder match 4 3/4.
Wow.
The Sammy Trick match, which we just said, what the heck was that? 3 stars. Finn Dominic 3.5. Rhea Ripley Jade Cargill 3 1/4. That only went 10 minutes.
I actually enjoyed that match a lot.
The 5 stars for the Reigns Punk. So that's 3 matches over 4 stars, and 2 basically by his standards near perfect.
Yep. The problem right now with WWE has nothing to do with the wrestling. I mean, the roster's working their asses off. It's a combination of TKO treating this like UFC. Guys, let me tell you something. I work for Paramount. I work for CBS. We all know that. I work UFC cards now, in a technical capacity. They go to break all the fucking time. All the time. They go to commercial. They do 3-minute breaks between the fights. There's 30-second breaks in between a couple, every 2 rounds. I got 2 boxes where there's an ad and talking going on. It's a TKO Endeavor thing. It is not. Mm-hmm. If you don't watch UFC and you're just watching WWE, this is not new to WWE. Endeavor does this with the UFC shows too. Loaded, and the stuff and the ads on the ground and the ads on the cage and stuff. That's years and years old. They've been doing that since
and let's be very real. ESPN was part of the deal to do WrestleMania this year, and Disney/ESPN is just as guilty of ad crashing everything as right. Paramount, as Netflix, anything else. And it's all because they want to hide everything behind a paywall where, if you want to watch it for free, we're going to bombard you with ads and make your life miserable. The thing that sucked about it is that there are people that pay good money for this and you're still getting ads. And you're still getting 30-minute sneak previews of a Hulk Hogan docuseries that nobody wants to fucking watch. And it's like, that's when it gets really maddening. Like, you're a wrestling fan, you're loyal to WWE, or you really enjoy WWE, and you pay good money to want to watch these shows, and you get served like a bunch of slop, and that's when it gets annoying.
I did hear from people that SmackDown on Friday night was absolute torture to watch live.
There was one funny segment where Trick Williams had the because he was making fun of Sami Zayn and he was calling him gosh, I forgot what it was. He had him dressed up like a gingerbread man. So they had a gingerbread man costume guy, and then he does the thing where there's a stagehand and he just backslaps him like a pimp. And it's
it's not, but I mean more not the content, the fact that or whoever keeps going to commercial. There's a break after one entrance. There's a break after another entrance. And the fans, if you're in-house, you're waiting for all this bullshit,
Yeah.
I actually watched 3 of the 4 parts of the Hogan doc, which you're full of crap, Boogie. Everybody wanted to watch it.
I watched it. I watched it.
It's Hulk fucking Hogan. All right. Can we just stop? All right. You know what? I'm just going to go off now because I fucking had enough. Every fucking poser that pretends to not, and I know, and there are people already that I know that pretend now to suddenly, you know what? You all love fucking Hogan for the last 35 fucking years. So spare me your crocodile tear bullshit that everybody has to hate the guy because it's fashionable. Go fuck yourself. Okay? I am done with all the lying and all the fucking fakers who find it fashionable to hate his guts now. Meanwhile, if it wasn't for him, we'd be talking about fucking polo and goddamn pickleball. So enough's enough. And that's I'm not saying that you, Boogie, and I know it's not you, Steve.
Yeah, I like
how much do you charge an hour, Steve? Because I'm done with the lying and the bullshit. Okay?
I listened to a review of the first episode today that Post Wrestling did. Just because I drive around a lot, so that's where I listen to my podcast, and it's just not something I want to sit down and watch because I just watch a ton of other stuff. It's just not on my list.
Right.
But they were talking about Bret Hart, who, is a huge critic of a lot of people. He speaks his mind. But how in the documentary, he shits on Hogan as a in-ring wrestler.
Yes.
But also, like, I think he said, like, in terms of a promo, like 10 out of 10.
Yes, he did say that.
And then, like, obviously what he did to the business, for the business back then. You're right. Like both, it's just like we said with WWE and TKO, right? Both things can be true. Like I haven't liked Hulk Hogan in like 20 years. But that doesn't mean I don't respect everything that he did for the business. And like you said, yeah, we wouldn't be watching wrestling if it wasn't for him.
Right.
But I just don't I didn't like watching him.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't like watching him in the ring.
To be very clear, I watched the whole thing and it's not bad at all. I actually really enjoyed the Hogan growing up and the old footage of him in the territories. That was actually the part I enjoyed the most.
The part about him, the part that he said about his older brother was very, very tough.
His younger brother, when he was kind of in the prime of his career, overdosed. So it was sad.
Older brother, not younger brother. Older brother. I think it was his older brother. But here's the other thing that pissed me off. And I'm sorry, Brett's going to have to deal with this because, and I don't hate Brett. I like Brett. But Brett's got to get the fuck over. Brett's got to get over the fact that it sounds like he's the only one that's allowed to criticize everybody. For once, Hulk Hogan told the fucking truth. Everybody fucking cries that he's, that he makes things up. And he said that Brett as champion in 93 was a bunch of crap. Okay, if he's telling the truth, why does everybody get to criticize him? You know what, Brett? He thought you were crap.
Yeah, I think that criticism.
You get to say everybody else. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
Bret Hart gets to fucking sit there and tell it and say everybody else is crap. But Hulk Hogan, who everybody bitches, never tells the truth, finally said, yeah, I went in there to take the belt because I thought Bret couldn't draw fucking flies. He told the truth. Just because nobody likes it, go fuck yourself. Too bad you don't like it. It's better than lying. And if he said that he went in there and he lost to Yoko, was Bret going to beat lose to Yoko anyway? Probably. He probably was. Now, when Bret beat Yoko at WrestleMania 10 and he had that great run in 94 feuding with his brother, that was gold.
Mm-hmm.
But admittedly, maybe 93 was still, Vince was still a little gun shy. Now, after he won at WrestleMania 9, Hulk Hogan said, I'm not defending this belt's not working for me, brother. Now, Hogan saying that he could have stuck around in 93, I don't totally believe. believing it and agreeing with it are two different things. I'm going to say that. If Hulk wanted to believe that he could have done a lot for the company in 93, fine. Do I agree with it? No. He was done. He was cooked. Now, Vince should have turned him heel in 93, and maybe that would have got Brett over. And maybe, you can't, because that was the other thing. You can't really say, well, I reinvented myself in 96. Well, if Vince had foresight in 93 and turned Hogan heel after WrestleMania 9 and led to babyface Brett beating him at SummerSlam in Detroit, maybe that would have worked. I guess my point is, and see, Boogie, I'm not letting you. This is why I love you and why I like you on the show, because you're not getting off the hook with your flipping comments. A lot of people, I think, did want to watch this, and people watched it, and that's fine. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want. But don't sit here and everybody say, I've hated Hogan this whole time, all 45 years he's been alive, and I can't.
Yeah.
Because now it's, quote, fashionable to hate him. Now, I know, Steve, you're a work rate guy, and Hogan never was, and I can get that. I can get behind that. That's one thing. That's fine. But the only time that I've ever watched Hogan and that I thought he was mildly unwatchable was the years he was in TNA. That was crap.
Right. And that's
that was
when it really went bad. Because
and plus, I mean, most of that was Dixie, and she's an idiot. But
and Bischoff and Russo, and that's because they're like abusing their power, right? They're not like
that was
for themselves.
That was briefly mentioned on the docu-series. They're all the points you had made are good. Yeah, I'll give you a comparison. I just recently watched the movie, the Michael Jackson movie. Well, to be fair, all content, you have to sort of keep in mind who creates it and what their angle is and what they have access to. If Hulk Hogan and his son Nick are producing it, well, then there's going to be certain things that they're going to omit and not talk about.
Now, they also did. They did change the narrative a little bit because now I didn't watch part 4 yet, but I know they get into him and Shawn at SummerSlam 05, and they kind of said, why did Shawn overbump and why did he flip around like Mr. Perfect? Because Hogan was getting up there in years. He needed to be carried a little bit. And that had nothing to do with it. Shawn was pissed because Hogan didn't want to do a rematch, and that was wrong. That was wrong. He didn't want to do a rematch because he wanted to keep his one win and tough shit. And those kind of things he should be criticized for. I'm not saying he should never be criticized for anything. But WWE kind of skewed the narrative, and they and some of the WWE guys in that doc were kind of disingenuous because and this sadly includes Cody, and I love Cody, but we'll get back to WrestleMania, folks. But you blame Boogie for this. It's all his fault.
But there are great quotes in it. When they talk about his death, Jesse's like, that was the end of my era. I mean, and that's a perfect encapsulation of like, this is when sort of rock and wrestling kind of ended for everyone. When Hogan died, it made you feel mortal. The guy who was invincible, the immortal one, and he's gone. And and it was like, but just to compare it to like Michael Jackson's estate helped produce that movie. So yes, they're going to take some seedier parts of Michael Jackson out of it. It's just, you just have to accept that when you're watching any kind of content.
I actually want to see that. Was the movie good though, Buggy?
The music was.
Well, yeah, the music is good.
Coleman Domingo is like almost like a cartoon character as his abuse.
Steve, you need to book with him. I don't know when you became such a miserable cynic, Boogie. I don't know what's happened to you. You just don't like anything except you do it with a smile. It's very sinister. Anyway,
that's what watching an entire regular NBA season does to you.
In 2026,
watching teams not try for like 3/4 of the season.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true. Not trying for 3/4 of the season. You're right about that. Anyway, so I don't know when I'll watch it. Unfortunately, we don't get DVDs or Blu-rays anymore, so I don't know when I'll watch it because ESPN can truly suck a fart out of my ass.
Yeah.
But
I think it'll be on Netflix in 6 months.
I honestly, my prediction for 2020, I think the ESPN deal is going to they're going to end up paying out and disappearing because it's a disaster. It's a fucking disaster. ESPN overvalued themselves because they're a bunch of fucking narcissists, and it's a big, they're going to end up not getting. They knew they weren't going to get their. If they thought they were going to get their money back on this deal, they're out of their fucking minds. My prediction is at some point we may end up seeing a updated iteration of the network.
I hope so.
I have a feeling. Funded by somebody, run by somebody. But we'll see. So WrestleMania is in the rearview mirror, and already next weekend, we have the next show, which is Backlash Tampa, which is, I think, next Saturday night, the 9th.
That was quick.
Yeah, it's Saturday. It's next Saturday night, the 9th. I don't know if there's a card yet. We have 3 matches.
2 matches, yeah.
We have Seth and Braun Breaker. We have Io and Asuka. That should be fun. And Roman's defending the world title against Jacob Fatu, which I don't want to say it's a throwaway match. Jacob's not winning, but that could be fun. I have a feeling that Cody is going to not Cody. Punk is going to take some time off. This is WWE's first major event held in Tampa since Hell in a Cell in 2020 during the Thunder. What is the Benchmark International Arena? Is that where the Lightning play? Is that the old Ice Palace, St. Pete Times Forum, Amalie? Oh, it is. Yeah. Now it's called the Benchmark International Arena. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, this past August, it changed. Okay. Cool.
I like the title of it because it makes it seem like we're backlash. There's a backlash against Tampa.
Yes, I know. The next Saturday's main event is a couple weeks after that, on May 23rd, at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's like an old school superstars or challenge.
Yeah, I was just thinking, did they go? They're like, oh man, we're really struggling now. We're overcharging. Let's go back to like armories.
They don't have. They have a Raw. The Raw after that, they actually, unless I haven't gotten it up to date, I don't think they've booked the location yet. That's going to be the last time they're in the U.S. for a while because they're going to go to England, Spain, Italy, all over the place for about a month and a half.
The next show after that. The next show after that is Sunday, May 31st. It'll be during the day. It is at it's Clash in Italy. It'll be at the Inalpi Arena in Turin, Italy. First ever event ever in my native country. Obviously, I'm from here, but then the next show after that is Night of Champions, which will be on June 27th. That is in Riyadh.
That one's wild to me. That's more wild than Mania.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was going to be canceled, and because of the war with Iran, and it turns out they're just going to go forward with it. I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't think that they'll just put up a missile and start firing and let the people sit in them. Maybe the LED lights that made the seats look empty. Maybe they have weapons under them. They'll just fire and shit from
they're lasers. They're anti-air. Like
they're going to be
shoot out of the empty fucking seats.
They take out drones.
But between
almost all of June, they're going to be in all these foreign places. They're going to be in Italy, France, Cardiff, Wales, Providence, Rhode Island, all these foreign places that nobody cares about.
Madison Square Garden.
They do go to the Garden, right?
Yeah, Madison Square Garden, July 18th for Saturday's main event. Then SummerSlam will be the first weekend of August at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, home of the Vikings. I hope there's a lot of purple. Then September 6th is Money in the Bank, which is truly in a foreign country, Boogie's backyard. So in New Orleans, what a fucking what a consolation prize! You lose WrestleMania, we'll give you Money in the Bank.
Well, that's the funniest part. It's like, yes, you climb a ladder in New Orleans. Now, great. Now you're barely above sea level.
Yeah, pretty much. And then it stops. That's the last scheduled show. So obviously we still have Survivor Series and all that kind of crap. So anyway,
not enough to talk about for Backlash, but I think Roman and Jacob could have a good match.
They'll have a good match. I mean, Roman will win, but they'll have a good match. I kind of like what is it, Seth and
Braun.
And Braun. That could be interesting.
My guess is
and
Braun
Io and Asuka actually could be awesome.
Yeah, the cuts ruined it, but I hope they have a good match. Yeah,
I love them both. I'm just sad with the loss of Kyrie.
I agree. She wanted to move home. This has nothing to do with TKO. She just wanted to move back to Japan.
Came out that was not true. That she just said something out. I believe even today that she wanted to continue. Yeah.
Why do we have to believe her now? Why couldn't we believe her before?
I don't think.
What conspiracy are you spitting?
No, she never said anything like that. That was just a rumor that people said that she.
Okay, gotcha.
It didn't come from her.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was part of the post-Mania cuts that we're now getting used to, and it's hard. They're always hard. it's one of my least favorite days. It's starting to happen now on Fridays, where we find out about the cuts.
Yeah. So AEW, after Tampa, AEW gets its big show coming up on May 24th, right in my backyard, and I still contend that I may walk up. And that is Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing at I'm only walking up if you come, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
I know.
No comment.
But it's me.
Yeah. Well, that's not because.
So we have two. I know. We have two. That'll happen one day. I promise. Two matches right now. Okada is defending the international belt against Takeshita's Mole. Wow, the Mole gets a title shot. That's crazy. And then FTR against Cope and Cage. In an I Quit street fight for the tag team belts. Is this their way of retiring, guys?
I say no. I think Cope and Cage are going to win the belts.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine either way.
Yeah. It's reasonable. It's realistic that they'll retire as a team. It's realistic.
I am disappointed. I am sad though that Edge wasn't in WWE for Cena's retirement because I mean he was just as much a part of Cena's career as anybody else. It kind of bums me out that Edge wasn't in WWE. So
you're saying that Cena should go to AEW?
He'll just go to a ring. They'll put him in Ring of Honor and he'll wrestle Athena 67 times on no TV.
And they haven't formally announced it. But I really got a feeling that Darby Allin's going to defend the belt against MJF again at Double or Nothing. It's just
that's possible.
Yeah,
I can see that. And then so we got a little time on that. And then Forbidden Door is after that. That's going to be June 28th.
Yeah, they just announced the location. Yeah.
It's at the SAP Center. It's where the Sharks play. It's at the Tank in San Jose.
That's where SummerSlam 01 was.
Yes, it was with great top 100
amazing angle from that show. Amazing angle off the match. Yeah.
Yes, it was. And even I gotta say, even Rock and Booker was actually not a bad match on that show. There was a couple of good matches on the show.
I think this is the first time they've booked a show at that arena in San Jose, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. So we've got. So it's AEW, New Japan, CMLL, and Stardom. So all four.
Will be represented in some way,
or being represented in some capacity. So that card will have like 4.
The tickets are already doing well. I think they sold 5,000 before 4,500 or 5,000 before the regular on sale date even happened.
And for New Japan, that show is directly between Dominion, one of their big shows, and the G1 Climax, which starts in July.
Right. And then All In London, they're going back to London for All In. That'll be on August 30th at Wembley. During the August bank holiday weekend. So do they just like All In the UK, guys? Did it not do well in Arlington last year?
I think there was some sort of scheduling thing that that happened with
last year they wanted to go back to London. Tony said this in a press conference that he wanted to go back to London in 2025. What happened is that it had already been booked by a residency for Coldplay. So he couldn't go back there. That, I think, was the same tour with the infamous thing where the person was cheating and holding there. It was the same tour. But I think he wanted to go back there when he realized he couldn't book it for 2025. In advance, he went ahead and booked All in Texas. I thought All in Texas was a success. I did. But I think London's more lucrative. You can get a bigger crowd.
I also think, like, with those things, you don't want to be going to the same place every single year because it's diminishing returns.
Right.
We just saw, and with WrestleMania,
and
but we also saw it with
Grand Slam.
Yep, exactly. Saw it with Grand Slam in Brooklyn at the tennis stadium at Arthur Ashe, and I see it in England as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized something, guys. I'm looking at this right now. September 1st. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Will be the 8-year anniversary of All In.
Wow.
All In was 8 years ago.
And John Mayer and Eddie Vedder have still never gone to another wrestling show.
Shit. Yeah, September 1st, 2018. Yep.
Wow.
And then 4 months later, Boogie cashed in his WWE membership card. He dumped the fan club, and now he's on ROH, and I don't get to watch him on TV. What a shame. So there we go. So that's the next few months for AEW. TNA, what did they just have?
Rebellion.
Right? They had Rebellion.
I don't think we talked about Rebellion at all.
I don't think we did either.
I will give them some credit. They had a TNA Impact show where they got high marks for a main event match between Mike Santana and Rich Swann. I will say that. And Allie's back.
Oh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Slammiversary is the end of June. It's at the Agganis. Is it Agganis or Agganis? I think it's Agganis Arena. That's where BU plays. I think that's where BU plays. Is that where BU plays?
Yeah, AEW's booked that show, but that place before.
Yeah, that's BU's arena. On June 28th. But I think, is there anything there's got to be something in between that. Do they have a
No, that's it. Slammiversary Rebellion in April 11th, and then Slammiversary on June 28th. Unless they throw something in there.
There's nothing in the really. There's nothing in the middle.
Mm-mm.
I'm looking at their. I'm looking at. Let me check list of TNA pay-per-view live streaming events. I feel like it's got to be something.
They do have a residency coming up in Chicago where they're probably going to book a big show there.
Lockdown's going to be there.
Yeah, Lockdown, and then Bound for Glory will be in Tampa, Florida, in October.
That's at the Yuengling Center. Lockdown is near you, Steve. Credit Union One Arena, whatever that is.
That's
what is that?
That's a UIC. That's UIC, University of Illinois Chicago.
The UIC Pavilion, home of the amazing Super Clash 3 that Jerry Lawler still hasn't gotten paid back for.
Yes.
After Kerry Von Erich was so stoned, he bladed himself.
He bladed his own arm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's UIC.
Yeah, I guess there's no. I guess there's nothing in between. Rebellion was April 11th. Santana against AEW.
Been wrestling there in a very long time. I was at a concert there a few years ago.
Yep. Lockdown is August 23rd in Chicago, and then Bound for Glory is in Tampa on October 11th. I'm sure there'll be something in September. There'll be something in July and something in September. I'm sure. Now, when are they doing an ROH show?
Who the hell knows?
That's I can tell you.
Did you just say who the hell knows?
Yeah, I think sometime in May.
It's a
who the hell knows? That's awesome.
is
May 15th.
Yeah, it's a Super Card of Honor in Salisbury, Maryland. I guess that's the home of the Salisbury steak, I think.
Yeah, that's what I would thought, right? Isn't it?
No, I literally made that up. I have no idea. They have
I actually rolled with
it. Your girls wrestling on it.
They have 4 matches set up already, but they're not the
mine or his.
World. The Ring of Honor show. Deonna Purrazzo is wrestling Diamante. Yes. Nigel McGuinness is wrestling Josh Woods. Bandito is wrestling Blake Christian, but Bandito's about to start feuding with Swerve Strickland. So I don't know where that's going.
I don't see Dominion 2026 booked yet.
They haven't booked a match yet.
No, they have.
I don't see it on Wiki.
They just did. I think Sakura Genesis is just about to happen.
Yes. Well, no, Sakura Genesis already happened. That was the one where Callum Newman won the title.
Yes.
Wrestling Don Taku is
Don Taku. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's a 2-night event, and the main event is Callum Newman and Shingo Takagi. By the way, did you know this
Fantastica Mania is... Oh, this already happened. Oh, no, it's upcoming. It's...
That's in Mexico.
No, this did happen already. It says April 19th. Oh, so this already happened.
That was the CMLL Super Show in Las Vegas. That was the one where they had that viral match where Ultimo Guerrero wrestled Blue Panther, and one guy was in his 50s and the other was in his 60s.
This one was in Charleston, South Carolina, the one I'm talking about. April 19th. April 19th. Apparently it happened already. It says April 19th.
Oh, okay.
2026. In Charleston, South Carolina. It was a combo with MLW, CMLL, and New Japan. It'll serve as a taping for MLW.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So,
so that's why the Good Brothers were booked.
Yes.
Yeah, they have the Dontaku card, and then we'll have the Best of the Super Juniors coming after that.
Okay.
And then Dominion.
So there we go. There's your schedule, folks, of the big shows coming up from all the promotions. The next big one, of course, is Backlash Tampa, which is next Saturday. And then then WWE has a Science main event. And then actually the Science main event is the night before Double or Nothing. So, okay, there we go, guys. Now let's go back to talking about the Hogan doc because I want to just lose my fucking mind again. No, I don't. I didn't even watch the fourth part yet. Dr. G and I watched the first 3, and
it doesn't end well.
Well, yeah, because now we're getting to all the stuff that everybody now suddenly, nothing could ever be forgiven. But I'm not. Don't get me started. Do you want just me to just go scorched earth boogie? Because I feel like that's deep in your mind. I feel like you're just like pulling the ripcord on me.
And angry Scott's my favorite Scott.
Right, that is true. I am.
That's what I'm gonna start calling you. When you get angry, I'm gonna call you the Scottish Warrior. Like I need the Scottish Warrior today.
JR used to play the music from Armageddon.
Yes.
The end is here. They used to play that when I would go off on the Lakers for getting swept by Dallas in 2011.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. You can watch them get swept in about a week.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened there. That's just not. Well, they're all hurt. I mean, everybody's fucking hurt.
Oh, Reeves is back.
But Luke, I mean, how can Luke heal? When did he become such a mush?
When he realized he has to play the Thunder again, he said, "Nah, I'm dipping out of that."
Yeah, they're a damn good. They're a damn good basketball team.
But the Rockets
will lose to them. The Rockets will lose to them.
I don't want to get too deep into the weeds about the NBA, but I'll just say this: I think there was a lot of like political bullshitting going on in Houston, where Kevin Durant got his feelings hurt, and he said basically, "Oh, I'm hurt. I can't play," and that's what happened.
Right. That's entirely possible. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But the Lakers can finish it off, I'd like to think, tomorrow. They played like shit last night. They really did.
Yeah, that was a poor outing, but they can finish it in Houston. No team in the NBA history has ever blown a 3-0 lead, and I don't think it ever will happen. I really don't.
I certainly hope not. That wouldn't. I couldn't. I don't think my.
You're already having to deal with the Mets.
Yeah, I already have a sports season that's already flushed.
Why hasn't their manager been fired yet? By the way,
because there's nobody else, and David Stearns is a narcissist who doesn't want to admit that he fucked that because that's his guy.
I mean, they've already fired the Red Sox, Cora, and the Phillies already fired their manager. So it's
right, but Cora, I think they would love Cora, but but he's decided he's not managing. He's not managing.
Also, because
year,
Mandini, well, you can't hire Alex Cora because thanks to Mandini, there's a shortage of trash cans in New York to bang on to try to steal signs.
You know what? I want to fucking cheat. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
No, I just think
care.
No, let me just say this. Let me say this right now about Alex.
Ban cans, get the mafia. I just want a championship. I don't give.
Let me just say this about Alex Cora. I think it is so funny that he goes there after the Astros, after he's an assistant. They win a World Series easily, and then they get caught he gets caught cheating, and they never win. The Boston never wins with Cora again. It's like, oh, okay. Basically, you were only good at cheating.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, but I mean, it had nothing to do with that. The he was just a scapegoat. The things are much worse for the for the Red Sox than Cora. Right. He had nothing to do with it. All right. All right. So there's your update on all the current goings on. Okay. Let us now open the vault and head into the main event archive. And this week, because Boogie's here, he didn't use his poor pharmacist friend as a scapegoat. This is TNA. Suddenly he'd run out the door. No, I'm just kidding. It is. We are going back to October of 2019 for this week's main event archive. The October 30th, 2019 episode of AEW Dynamite. We are 2 weeks away from the first Full Gear. We actually have a pretty good episode tonight. We're at the Coliseum in Charleston, West Virginia. Mm-hmm. The other Charleston. First time that AEW was actually in like a kind of a smaller place. Obviously, they've opened with the big places: Washington, Boston. Have they been in Philly? Or no, they were. No, I'm sorry. They opened in DC.
They
right? They opened in DC.
They went to Philly before that. Yes.
Yeah, they were in Pittsburgh. So here we are we're in Charleston tonight. We got 4 matches. We will crown an inaugural AEW World Tag Team Champion. And we will have the contract signing for our main event at Full Gear between the AEW champion Chris Jericho and Cody, no last name. The show opens. I know Steve's got the write-up. The show opens with the limo, and do you guys? I feel like and Cody got out and Dustin, the whole Rhodes crew. I feel like, guys, right out of the gate, Cody just felt like a bigger heel than even Jericho.
Yes,
I don't know.
He does a lot of times, like wearing his, those really expensive suits with the stupid vests,
right?
Like he still does it to this day. He just kind of looks like a douche.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. He seems like an everyman to me coming out of his private jet. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that really was crazy. Like it just seems so fucking weird.
Yeah. It also is very different because they've done different openings for Dynamite because clearly they're still like only in episode 6 or 5 where they're still trying things out, and they instead of doing like we're gonna open with people in the ring getting ready to ring the bell, now we're gonna open with pyro. This time they just open with a tape package, and so they're just trying different things.
And then Cody, we'll go back to we'll get more to them later, but we do have the contract signing tonight for their title match at Full Gear. Steve, go from there. What do we got?
Yeah, this is the infamous Ricky and Morty episode done in conjunction with
yes.
This was pretty early on in their existence. So I understood the point, but they went a little bit too far with it. And like with the backstage prepackaged, basically we find out that Tony Khan's not going to sanction the match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. So a rare kind of appearance by Tony Khan, although you never saw him on screen. And then we went to match one right away, Hangman Adam Page versus Sammy Guevara. And Sammy was doing like his vlog as Page was coming to the ring. And Jim Ross compared Sammy Guevara to a young Eddie Guerrero.
They're Hispanic. They're Hispanic. That's the only similarity that they have.
Yeah. I don't think it was a bad match, though. Of course, you guys know me. I'm in my Hangman kick because I thought he got fucked. But
as well, you should be. I mean, he's one of the probably best wrestlers and characters in the existence of AEW, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's doing the thing which is, a theme for his career, especially in the first couple of years, where he's trying to build confidence after losing to Jericho. And that story continues for at least, I was going to say for a year, but it goes through the pandemic as well, where he's trying to figure himself out.
Yeah, and you wonder where he's going, even after this. Did he seem like he was did he seem kind of directionless at this point, Steve, or not yet?
I think they want him on the program every week because he's one of the most popular people on the roster. And one of the reasons AEW started, because he came up with, kind of under the Bucks and Kenny and Cody, with that whole being the lead. So he's pretty popular. I also think they're using guys who are established like this to create other stars. Like they're putting Page in the ring with Sammy Guevara, and now you're seeing, now you get to see Sammy go against some real competition.
What are your thoughts on Hangman at this point, Boogie?
Yeah, I guess the story, like Steve was saying, is that he came out of the gate stumbling. That he's going to get his chance to win the title. He doesn't win it, so and I think he had lost a pack on the first episode of Dynamite, like the pilot episode,
right?
So
his pack was beating everybody.
So they're sort of telling this story, and I think he even says it in the promo that he cuts after he beats Guevara, of like, yeah, things haven't all gone my way, and but I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back stronger. I'm gonna beat Pac. So I guess the idea is like avenging, like correcting his mistakes. Like he's like a really talented. Right. It's almost like a really talented player who screws something up, but then makes an incredible play to make up for the mistake that he made. And it's kind of cool, but yeah, I do feel like I think one of the major problems that Tony ran into, and maybe the Elite ran into, depending on how you felt it was being booked at the beginning, is that they all wanted to be baby faces except for Jericho. So it's like everybody wants to be liked. Even Jon Moxley, to a degree, when we talk about his segment, it feels like he wants to be liked.
Yeah,
like we need people to be hated. We need villains, And Hangman wasn't a villain. The fans liked him.
Yeah, he seemed very sensitive, Mox, because of the fact that he was the guy who left WWE and he was a little rankled and that whole thing. But
that promo was very revealing. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. The average grade for that match 6.37. So not too bad.
Or is it 6.7?
Oh dear.
Shut up. Shut the
I'm gonna do that joke every episode. I thought the match was average at best.
Yeah,
6.37 is a little high.
Yeah,
I would say it was a Monday Night Raw type match. It was, Page went over. There was nothing offensive about it. They did everything cleanly, but it wasn't supposed to be something spectacular.
Right. In fact, the next match got more minutes.
It did. I don't know why.
Good question.
So Hikaru Shida next takes on Shanna. Was I supposed to know her? Was she on already?
She debuted. This is her debut.
Okay.
They wanted her. Where was she from again? They said she was born in Portugal but lived in France. And she wasn't around, like a lot of the women, she wasn't around for very long. And I think there had something to do, I don't know if it was COVID or they just didn't care for her. I don't remember exactly
right
what the deal was with her. And I could look it up as we talk here.
Let me ask you a question. Is this the same as Shauna McKenzie?
No.
Okay.
Hikaru Shida, of course, has been here from we are just at the beginning, but she was in the tournament and everything, and she wins the match in 10:45. They gave this match more time than they gave the other match.
Yeah.
Riho is still our champion.
I don't think either looked that great here. Even Shida, I think she was still trying to. It was like a slow-paced match. I just didn't think much of it at all. Shanna just like took a beating over and over and over again.
Yeah. Do you know the NXT wrestler Zarya? She's kind of built like her, like a bodybuilder, And I don't remember seeing her in the future in AEW after this. There were only two things that stood out: a double foot stomp from the top rope while Shida was in the Trio Woe. That was kind of cool, and also. Shauna kicked out of a Falcon Arrow. I don't know about that. That should have finished, but the running knee strike was the finish.
So we'll see Shanna. We'll see her off and on through COVID until COVID happens.
Okay.
And then she'll have to go back to England. And then she'll come back for a brief time at the end of 2020, early 2021 at the Daily's Place era, though pretty much exclusively on Dark, except for one match on Dynamite. So we'll see her a little bit over the next few weeks, and then that's about it.
Okay.
And she retired a couple years later.
She did. Oh, okay. Do we have anything between here and the 6-man, Steve?
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh my gosh, yeah. My only other thing I wanted to say is boy, you could really see how the women's division has improved.
Yes,
in terms of
I agree.
Since then, where we're at now, and the quality of people
goodness.
have it's unreal, the difference. And even Shida just wrestled is back in wrestling a program with Statlander as a tag, and even now you see the difference between her and everyone else. And
I don't want to do this as a let's all poo on Hikaru Shida segment, because she had her own good moments, but she had a match recently where she teams, like you said, with Chris Statlander, and they wrestle against Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, and she was the fourth best wrestler in the ring.
I noticed that too,
and it just shows how good the division is now. Yeah.
Oh, divisions, yes, head and shoulders better than it was the first probably 2 years in the company.
Still not as good as WWE, but that's okay.
Well, Megan Bayne
right now
is literally head and shoulders.
Yeah. Oh God, she's tall as hell.
I love her so much. So glad
she's
we had
some really weird stuff coming here. So first we had the Brandy Rhodes backstage video where
what the fuck was that?
Oh my God! This is.
I'm telling you, they are. Well, she's acting like a heel, but
right. This is wrestle crap stuff for the next few weeks.
I think she watched The Craft and said, "Let's do some stuff like that."
Good movie, The Craft too.
Craft is such a great reference. Nev Campbell and
Fairuza Balk and Robin Tooney.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys know they're doing a sequel to Practical Magic?
Yeah, I just saw that.
It's gonna be a hit.
I'm mildly excited about it.
Yeah, it will be a hit, because that movie is beloved.
Yeah, and I love both.
It was very
both
weird. A very weird segment. Like it's in the back, and she's like dressed in like dark funeral type outfit, and
Just
really focused on like Awesome Kong dominating, and all of a sudden chopping people's hair. And they go back to Jim Ross, and Jim Ross, like you can always tell when he's annoyed, and he basically was just like, yeah, whatever the hell that just was.
Yeah. I thought I left a company that did this shit.
Yeah. And this will be part of the women's division, I want to say, for like a month, and then they will just drop it like it never happened. They will just, it's there and then it's gone. There's no explanation for it.
They don't give a name yet in the segment. It winds up being called the Nightmare Collective, but
yes,
they don't name it in this segment, but this was cringe. This was woof.
And there is a wrestler from actually Milwaukee area that joined for like a day.
Shave your head. Yeah.
Yep. Hold on.
That's funny.
Lost my spot. But then we had the Rock and Roll Express come out.
Yes, with the showing off what's going to be the brand new AEW World Tag Team Title belts, which I like.
Did y'all catch the interviewer?
Yeah,
yes,
Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah,
Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah, Chris Van Vliet, who was wearing a fucking blazer about 13 sizes too small. Okay,
yes,
all right, tough guy.
And
you're showing off that you're lifting. I'll still throw you in the fucking trunk of my car, you dick.
He still can't grow facial hair.
No, and it's just a putz. But it's like he must have borrowed somebody's jacket because literally that blazer looked like it was a fucking youth medium. It's ridiculous.
Are you saying he looked like
Absolutely
David Byrne in Talking Heads with the big suit?
Yes, he did. He did. Once in a lifetime, water flowing underground into a through.
Hey! I love that.
I'm just thinking of I'm thinking of Steve's playlist in his car right now, and he totally has Talking Heads. Once in a lifetime,
burning down the house.
You're totally a Talking Heads guy, Steve.
My music taste is really weird right now. That's all I'll say. I was just at a concert this week, actually, down in Milwaukee.
Meredith Brooks, Bjork.
No, that's closer to a playlist than I would have. That was MJ Lendeman and Waxahachie. Look it up, kids. Yeah. So
sounds like a tag team. Sounds like a tag team in MLW.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know who else? You know who else is probably a tag team in MLW right now? The Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
Roll Express. Speaking of, so they're interviewing with Chris Van Vliet, his youth medium blazer, and they get jumped by Santana and
Ortiz,
and they get beat up and chucked into the fucking. They took good bumps though. I gotta give them their due.
The loaded sock. Yeah.
I mean, if you have Ricky Morton in a segment, he has to be the face in peril. You have to put him in a perilous situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy could still go.
Oh my God!
Even now, he could still go. I saw him in
I went to a Dynamite in New Orleans, and FTR was doing a heel segment, and they beat up and pile drove Ricky Morton in the Rock and Roll. He's so good at it. He's 70 years old, and he can still sell like a face in peril.
He wrestled in NWA because his son's wrestling in the NWA. So, definitely Ricky Morton could definitely still bump. Anyway,
and
they really rolling out there to show off the tag belts.
Well, I was impressed at the fact that they created a platform where they can power bomb them through a stage that didn't look fake. So it was kind of cool.
Right. True. I believe, Steve, we have our next match. Oh, God, I hate these guys. But go ahead.
Yeah, and it's funny because we talked about this earlier on about having to sit, like all these poor schmucks in WWE having to sit through commercials in the ring. So we have QT Marshall, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver, right?
Yeah.
The two guys who will later be in the Dark Order. So they're in the ring waiting, and then we cut to Cody in the limo on his way to the arena with Tony. They're in the backseat, and it was kind of good. It was like an old school segment where Tony's kind of telling stories about Dusty, and
it totally had a. You know what it had? It had. I said this to Rotella when I was watching it yesterday. It had like the vibe of Ric Flair at Starrcade '93 before his match with Vader, like sitting in there talking about his career and reminiscing, and it still felt very heelish because Cody with the suit. But
no, but
it had that vibe.
It was funny when they were. It was funny when it felt like they were trying to have this dramatic moment about how Cody's getting ready for a big match, and Tony Schiavone's like, "Well, Cody, I remember the time I saw your dad butt naked next to Willie Nelson."
The moral of the story was to, let everyone. You're the star. Let everyone else wait. The star always comes out last, because they were talking about Dusty Rhodes meeting Willie Nelson at a pool, and what Dusty said, "We'll let Willie wait. The star always comes out last." But I thought this was funny because they certainly made QT Marshall and Reynolds and Silverweight, because this segment took about 5 minutes, and those guys were just sitting in the ring with no intro.
Yeah.
I like the Flair Vader comparison, because later on in the show, when we get back to the limo, there's a little bit of a Flair reference in there as well that I thought. But yeah, we finally get to the ring, and the best friends with Orange Cassidy come out, and they're dressed as and introduced by Rick and Morty. And I have never seen Rick and Morty. I've heard it's really good.
All right, I'll verbally raise my hand. I've watched the first few seasons. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
The original creator, who was the voice of Rick and Morty, got in trouble, and they kicked him, and Time Warner got rid of him. And so they have new people running it. So, but yeah, I enjoyed the first few seasons of Rick and Morty. It's a very zany, violent cartoon.
By the way, speaking of Dusty, can we say a quick rest in peace to David Allen Coe, who passed away yesterday, or if you're listening to this, Wednesday, at the age of 86. Everybody, if you watched Mid-Atlantic and Crockett back in the day, Dusty always mentioned David. As a matter of fact, didn't David Allen Coe wrestle? David Allen Coe performed at some pay-per-view. He showed up for something. I gotta look it up. Just talk about the match, Steve. I'll look it up, because I know Dusty had him at a pay-per-view, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird match. So Rick and Morty, portrayed by Chuck and Trent. Trent can't keep his wig on at all the entire match. Somehow they're still able to do their moves. At some point, Orange Cassidy's outside of the ring, and he's just like, screw these costumes, which is very much in character, and he just took it off. They played a little bit face in parallel, and then they just did their hug segment in the middle of the ring, and they did the soul food half and half combo, and then strong zero for the win. So it's pretty much a nothing match. It was more there just to do the cooperation between Warner Properties and Jim Ross. It allowed Jim Ross to be really confused as to what was going on. This was one episode where I felt that Jim Ross, maybe we shouldn't be using him much.
Yeah. I can't stand. I can't find it. I could have sworn that. He was. That he played at a Crockett show.
Huh.
I thought I might be wrong, but I could have sworn he did. But I might be wrong. Anyway.
I think I just found it. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Give me I might need another second.
But yeah, it was pretty much nothing. It was just
okay. I got it. I'll read it to you. It's on Wiki. The 1985 Great American Bash was the inaugural bash event produced by Jim Crockett. It took place on July 6, 1985 at the American Legion Memorial Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. The event included a 1-hour live concert performance by David Allen Coe.
Wow.
Okay. All right. I knew it was something.
Scott Criscolo, wow. You deserve your fucking flowers for remembering that. Because I did it.
Yep.
Wow.
Probably because I've been watching my Chrono Watch, and I remember, and Dusty loved David Allen Coe, so I knew eventually that was the case. But in any event, it's not on his wiki page, so it's not on David Allen Coe's wiki page. It's not mentioned. But in any event, okay. Well, as we all know, I hate Best Friends because I can't stand Chuck Taylor. I love Trent Beretta, and sorry, Steve, this was my complete Orange Cassidy hate phase. So
he hasn't been really established.
He's not even wrestling. He's not even trying.
Yeah, he hasn't even been really established yet, and that won't come for a few months at this point.
Right.
And his big run really didn't happen towards the end of COVID, and then when he started going against Jericho. I mean, my favorite part of Orange Cassidy when he was whatever champion he was, because those belts changed names, like the international champion, was it?
Yeah,
and he was wrestling every week and just killing himself. That was peak Orange Cassidy. But yeah, we have the contract signing now. Jericho, apparently the heel, and he's in the Halloween jacket. AEW's actual lawyer at the time, Megan Parak, who is still, I believe, the Jaguars' lead lawyer, is there. And then out comes Cody Rhodes and Tony. This took fucking forever. I was watching this yesterday, this part, and I'm like, oh my God. It was just like, first you're waiting for the limo to pull up, and then they're walking backstage, and then they do the Cody song, and then they're like, Tony's like, yeah, make him wait. It's part of the whole thing they were talking about. And then they were just milking the crowd response, both Jericho and Cody. And I'm just realizing this now. I think this played a role in the main event. And we'll talk about it when it gets forward. Jericho keeps faking like he's going to attack, and then he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. We'll be cool. I'm not going to power bomb you through the table. That's so cliche. So they shake hands after they send the contract and say, actually, you might be needed somewhere else. And you see Sammy and Jake Hagar on the screen, and they are, another Ric Flair reference here, basically doing a 4 Horsemen number on Dustin Rhodes, slamming his arm in the car door like they're at a gas station with the Andersons. So slammed his arm in the door, threw his head into the door, dented it, and then Cody and MJF came out to save as Jericho and the rest of, well, not the rest of, just Hager and what's his name? Guevara drive off in a Jeep. So incredibly long segment. I'll just say, like, I think this affected the main event because neither SCU or the Lucha Brothers in the inaugural tag team title match for AEW got an entrance. And I'd be willing to bet that this segment went way too long. And that's why that happened.
Yeah. They had one more segment that you're going to talk about between that, but that was a necessary segment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this went too, it was too clunky. It was way too clunky.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with
I will say this though.
Dustin though. That was fine. It was just,
yeah. And I wish WWE did this more. I actually like the contract signing on the set, on the ramp, or on the stage. I actually like that more than in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like that. I thought it looked pretty cool. I thought it looked pretty cool.
It's just so cliche at this point.
Contract signings?
Yeah.
No, that's
I don't need to be critical of Omega because she's not an actress. She's not
she's not a character.
She's just legal counsel, and she legitimately actually did work there. She was actually kind of mixed up in the brawl out that happened with Punk and the Bucks because she was in the room when it happened. But the thing is, like, when Jericho jumps and fakes him out, she doesn't even flinch, and it's just like, oh man, like you could at least acted like you were in danger. Right. But it's just small, tiny things like that. And, I don't expect everybody to play their part perfectly.
Right. But I will say, I agree with you, Steve, that, contract signings now are just preludes to brawls. But I did like the fact that they did it up on the up on the ramp instead of in the ring. I thought that was ingenious.
Yeah.
I actually like that. I like the visual looked better. The visual looked cool for me. So,
and then you didn't have to.
Okay.
Like, in theory, you wouldn't have had it to take forever for them to get to the ring. They just walk right out. They don't have to.
Right.
Do the whole
You don't have to turn the ring with the fucking carpeting and the 1987 kitchen chairs and all that shit. Yep. So we're booked for that. We're set. It's Chris Jericho and Cody for the AEW World Title in 2 weeks at Full Gear.
Yeah.
All right. We have another 6-man tag. Our second one of the evening, Steve.
Yeah, we have the hybrid 2 of Jack Evans from the Heavens and Helico teaming with Kip Sabian for some reason against the Elite of Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And since it's Halloween, that means Kenny dresses up as some video game character that I have no idea.
I did not know what that was.
And
I didn't either. That was just so Kenny.
Yeah, exactly. I have no.
Was it from the movie? Was it from Fallout? Was it from the game Fallout?
I have literally no idea. I think they said his name was Thundertail. I did like the little 16-bit video package before, like Kenny feeling all alone and he's struggling to trust, and there's a little Easter egg with Kota Ibushi in there. That Kota's not there anymore. And then the Young Bucks come up. At least I know a Street Fighter character, so that was okay. So the Street Fighter Bucks and Kenny in some sort of mask, which he takes off. I am such a huge fan of Angelico. I might have said this in previous recaps. I think he's so underused. Like his look is unique. He's like tall and wiry, and he does these really unique submission moves that he learned in Mexico. But they're just like Angelico and Evans and Sabian are really taking a lot of this match in the beginning. Tons of high-flying double team moves by Hybrid 2. Like Evans is doing all of his flippy stuff that he's known for. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're going to reverse the tide when Kenny gets a hot tag, but Angelico even holds on to him doing like a reverse figure 4 type maneuver. Eventually, Sabian spikes Matt with a poison rana, but now everyone's in the ring. Kenny gets up, basically Snapdragon Palooza to everybody. And Helico and Jack Evans did a really cool move for like the British Bulldog's old finisher, where Angelico has one of the Bucks in a fireman's carry, and Jack Evans does a backflip moonsault to the floor off the top of him. They eventually powerbomb him on the apron, and then finish with a triple super kick, V-trigger by Kenny, and a one-winged angel for the victory.
On Evans, yeah.
And then Pride and Powerful are in the crowd dressed as Rick and Morty as well, and they attack the Young Bucks quickly at the end of the segment.
Wait, Rick and Morty attacked the Street Fighters?
Yes, they did, and Rick and Morty won.
Well, I'm so glad that we're now talking about a true wrestling promotion that is not ruined by cross-promotional tactics.
Right.
The match was fun. A lot of crazy spots. Jack Evans is, like you said, he's always good for that. Sabian, I feel bad for him because he's still in AEW, he's still employed there, but it feels like he's just always injured. I think they even say in the beginning of the match, he just came back from a dislocated finger, and it's like
he's always injured.
This guy's always hurt.
And then Penelope Ford,
always hurt,
hurt, right? Like because they're married, correct?
Yes.
And if one of them's, it's either like I thought he was going to be the manager of Megan and Penelope. Because he started sitting backstage with them, and then she got hurt again.
Yeah, he's with Nick Wayne and Mother Wayne.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mother Wayne.
But I'll say this: when the Bucks got House of Fire, that's when it got kind of fun because the Bucks start doing all their like crazy combos with Angelico and Evans, and that's when it got kind of that's why I enjoyed it. But overall, it was just okay. Yeah,
it was like an elite scrimmage. There wasn't any juice to the match. It was just
right.
It wasn't really an extended squash, but you knew that Hybrid 2 and Sabian had no chance in hell of winning, but they did give them quite a bit of time to show off.
Yeah. No, it was just kind of I felt like it was just kind of a fill, which is still kind of what AEW is doing with these early Dynamites, just spotlighting spotlighting the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, a guy that Matt Rotella said to me yesterday is his favorite librarian. Peter Avalon comes out with what's her name? His female librarian.
Leva Bates. Yeah.
Blue Pants.
Leva Bates. That's right. Blue Pants. Blue Jeans. Or is it Blue Pants?
Mm-hmm.
Blue Pants. And they're having, they're cutting a promo, and then John Moxley comes out of the crowd and beats the shit out of him, and then cuts a promo. Because he is wrestling Kenny at Full Gear in that Lights Out match. I cannot wait to talk about that match.
Mm-hmm.
At Full Gear. It was a fine segment. Again, I think you're right. I think Mox wants people to like him because, I'm here. I'm one of the original. I'm an original. I just had to deal with a bunch of shit in WWE, wearing a gas mask and all this other crap. Like me. But, that's fine. Crowd was pumped into it anyway. And, Peter Avalon was an easy guy to beat the shit out of, because AEW had those guys at the time. We'll get more into, obviously we will do Full Gear down the road. I remember kind of being excited for this card, though. I'm not going to lie. I was actually kind of excited for this card.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was being built very well. I was kind of pumped because I actually thought Cody was going to win. But we'll get more into that. We'll get more into when we actually watch the show.
I'll give one comment about that. And they did show a segment that had been filmed from the previous week because he was pissed off that his main event match with Pac had a 10-minute time limit draw. And so they do a segment where he goes to Tony Khan's office and he's yelling at him and blah, blah, blah. And Tony's like, "You're the purveyor of violence. You're out of control." And John's complaint in the promo is like, "I've worked so hard to try to get to this point to feel free and wrestle Kenny Omega. And now you're trying to put the shackles on me, and I'm not going to let you do that. And you're going to tell me that if it's an unsanctioned match, that my match, it doesn't mean anything on paper. Yes. Well, it means something to me, and that's sort of the whole point of it is like, just because I'm not in somebody, I don't fit in somebody's like box doesn't mean that I don't matter. That was the whole point of the whole promo.
Right. What was after? Did we go right to the main event, Steve, or was there something after this?
Yeah, we went right to the main event, and that's how I was like, "Wait, what's going on here?" They're already in the ring, like almost like a jobber match.
This is the finals. This is the finals of the tournament. Yeah.
Yep. So our main event is the finals of the inaugural tournament to crown our first AEW World Tag Team Champions. Two great teams. And that is SoCal Unlimited, SCU, my boys, Frankie K and Scorpio Sky, against Lucha Brothers, Pentagon, Penta, and Refinix. Before we talk about the match, guys, when this tournament was first built, was this the final you expected?
No,
I expected Luchas and Young Bucks.
Me too.
But they telegraphed it because in the very first episode, they had SCU and Lucha Brothers up at the stage when they debuted, punching each other. I think that was the very first episode. So yeah,
and the Luchas had taken out Christopher Daniels.
Right. So a good bit that's a good bit of booking right there, where you're basically setting up the final and not expecting that to be exactly the case. I think everyone was expecting Bucks and Lucha Brothers.
Right. Yeah. No, I think I thought so too. However, maybe they were, maybe the Bucks were doing the best job of not booking themselves. We all know who the EVPs were. And we already have Cody already getting a world title shot. So
that's what I was about to say. There's a lot of transparency here that's revealed after Full Gear of like, we really, really don't want to rub it in people's faces that we run stuff here, kind of thing.
Right, exactly. What'd you think of this match, Boogie?
I liked it. I thought SoCal, meaning Scorpio and Frankie K, looked good in it. They kept up really well. They do some hurricanranas. They did have some slip-ups. for sure. But there's some fun stuff. There's a destroyer late in it. I believe what happens is in the end, they're getting ready to do the stomp package pile driver. It gets broken up and turned into an inside cradle. I love any match that ends with an inside cradle. Like, I just think it's such a clever ending. Like, it's sort of like that's the Bret Hart in me of somebody who's like a thinker would think of a finish like that. And I kind of like that, but the match overall was good. It wasn't as good as some of the other ones that had been in the previous rounds, like the Bucks and the Private Party. And I think there was a really good one with Luchas and maybe Jurassic Express. I could be wrong, but there were better matches. That's all I'll say. But overall, it was a legitimately surprise. Like, to this day, it's a surprising upset. Like, if I told you who were the first AEW tag team champions in the history of that awesome tag team division, if I told you SoCal Uncensored, you wouldn't believe me. You know, so it was an upset.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, SCU was popular towards the end of Ring of Honor and at this point, but they weren't on the level in ring as, you know, the Bucks, Lucha Brothers, Santana and Ortiz, you know, so yeah, a bit of a surprise. Yeah. I just didn't feel it was a very good match, but I just didn't feel like it had finals of a tag team tournament in a company whose one of its major selling point at the time is our tag team wrestling. Some of the other matches earlier on in the tournament I felt were better than this, and so maybe also I was kind of just spoiled by the beginning, where it's just like it just didn't feel important because they didn't produce the show that well with the timing. Like, they should have left plenty of time.
If you look at the time code, because it's on HBO Max for those who don't know, that's how we're watching these. If you look at the time code, I think there's literally 45 seconds left when the pinfall happens. Like, that's how close it was to the end.
And they started it, I wanted to say, with like 16 minutes left to go in the show, and that included getting rid of, you know, no introduction. No,
the match was 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
It should have been 20.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially as we're talking earlier on about how Tony likes his long matches.
Right. Were you surprised by the result? I definitely was at the time when I watched it.
I thought for sure the Lucha Brothers were going to win.
Yeah, me too. But Frankie K, who, you know, he's always been a good worker. I mean, Scorpio Sky, who I feel like was a crown jewel guy when this promotion started. This is a good win in terms of building the tag division, because you've got a lot of great tag teams still, and I think this is the right team to get over. So SoCal Unlimited in 1237 is your inaugural AEW World Tag Team Champions. Surprise, guys, they didn't wait till to do it at Full Gear?
Yes. I thought that would have been the perfect place to do it. I don't think they wanted to outshine Santana or Ortiz versus the Bucks.
I agree, actually. And I don't think they wanted to wait 2 more weeks for it unless they wanted to head started the tournament at a different time. So, okay.
Would you like to know what was
overall...
on? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Was on what?
What was on?
No, I was going to do the final grade of the show, but what was on NXT? Go ahead.
Very quickly. Io Shirai defeats Candice LeRae. Bronson Reed defeats Shane Thorne. The Kabuki Warriors defeat Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. Cameron Grimes, remember him? Defeated Tyler Bate. Whatever. Don't know what happened to him. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish defeated Keith Lee, and Matt Riddle was the main event. Also, this was the same week as Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, where they got held up at the airport. They had to get the NXT wrestlers to wrestle on SmackDown. And the main event the next day or 2 days later was Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan.
An all-time great episode of Raw, and just booked on the fly, right?
Yep.
It just goes to show you don't need to overthink it.
Right.
Yep. All right. So the final grade was cage matches. Final grade of this show was 753. 5 people graded it as low as a 5, and 8 people graded it a 10 with grades in the middle. So,
well, those people are high.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is not a 10 episode. This is one of my lesser episodes.
Yeah, Boogie gave it a 10, and then one of his alternate identities gave it a 9.
Well, well, Jesus Christ, you didn't ask me what I would give it.
So our next.
Well, you didn't ask me what I would grade it as.
You would grade it a 10. So what would you grade it?
Well, it's a 10.
If you say 6, 7, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. If you say 6, 7, I swear to God, I'm going to fucking kill you.
It's a 10, but that's not the point. The point is that you didn't ask me.
Because I already know the answer.
No,
you were going to either say 6, 7, or you were going to say 10.
No, I'm going to be very honest. This is
go ahead.
This is the worst episode of Dynamite so far I've seen. It's
I'm glad you said that, because I
say
was
C minus.
I was thinking that too. Out of the 5 that we watched, this was the worst. But I thought maybe I was just in a bad mood or something like that.
It's not a great show.
Yeah, it was like maybe a 6.5, somewhere around.
I really liked the contract signing, though. I have to say, the contract signing was fun.
I just thought it took too long.
I love that old school shit. I love that old school shit.
Yeah, the slamming of the door was a great callback.
It was massive. Shit. 80s NWA.
But as the way it was formatted, the time restraints of the main event, this is the second week in a row this has happened, Tony.
The women's match, I thought was
listen to me. Yeah, he's got to figure out a way to space out the time better, and they're not there yet.
The shitty Brandy Rhodes segment that made no sense.
Oh, whatever that hot mess was. Yeah, that was a mess too. Anything else, guys? Boogie, anything else? Please. Anything else?
Next week's Dynamite, I hate to tell you, it's going to be more of the same.
But then we'll have that one. A great pay-per-view.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. But 2 weeks, our next episode, in 2 weeks, we will flip back and we will do the May 6th, 2003 episode of TNA with still world champion Jeff Jarrett, who survived the feud with Raven for now. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll be back here for the November 6th, 2019 episode of AEW Dynamite. So there's your look at our archives for the next couple of weeks. Guys, that was a fun show. It was very schizophrenic. I didn't know what the fuck we were doing half the time, but it kind of bounced all over the place. But that's why I love this show so much. Thank you for listening, everybody. Check everything out here on the PTB Wrestling Network. An oldie but a goodie is returning this weekend. An oldie but a goodie in terms of podcasts. An old podcast is returning. I'll let these guys know when we go off the air. When we come back in 2 weeks, we will recap Backlash Tampa and look ahead to the Saturday main event and see how they're also building up Double or Nothing as well. And then, like I said, main event archive that week will be the May 6th, 2003 episode of TNA. For Brother Steve, Brother Boogie, I'm Brother Scott. You've been in the main event. You take a week off from wrestling, and we will talk to you in 2 weeks.
Hey, Scott, if Nick Khan ran AEW, do you know what the main event of Double or Nothing would be?
What's that?
Darby Allin versus Pickle Rick. That's a Rick and Morty reference.
Shut up, Milton Friedman.